Reading of Welcome everyone to tonight's reading of Carla. Carla is a play based on the oral history of Carla Howard Horowitz, conducted by Ashley Edelman. It also has another two characters who are fictionalized, and the play uses props which can be found in a small NYC apartment during COVID. Since the two actors in this reading are in different states and started rehearsing this only a few rehearsals ago, we are using mostly clothing for this reading. The actors today are mostly staying in their chairs for the reading due to it being streamed, but in the actual production, the furniture can be used to make different settings, planes, and other such things. There's a moment where characters switch between a number of other characters, which can be understood by tone, posture, or putting on a fun hat or clothing item. We eventually will have a soundscape throughout of the sounds heard during COVID. At specific times, there would be sounds that are bumped up as indicated in the script. And at this time, you'll hear stage direction for that. The dialogue below should be realistic and not said with too much emotion. Think of two people who have just been getting by floating. And if they truly did express emotion, they both fear it would end in a fight they can never get away from. However, these two know each other well. Top of scene, Caitlin is sitting mindlessly on her phone. Enter Carol.
Ugh, it's still so frustrating out there.
Oh?
It's ridiculous. Cover your mouth and nose. It's not hard. I don't understand. I mean, you've seen what it's like out there. It's just,
I'm still in my PJs.
Oh, right. Well, I guess I should be impressed that people are still putting pants on to go outside, right? What you doing?
Just online.
Do you think that you'll be going out or?
I'm pretty sure I'm exhausted. You know, I spent all day trying to encourage our sourdough starter.
Good. I mean, can you and I talk?
About what?
Last night?
What about it?
Well, I mean, I thought you might be upset or.
You said it's cool.
I know, but that's all you said.
Because it's cool, I get it.
You do. And you and me are fine.
Yeah, fine.
Fine.
Yes, fine.
Well, fine, then. I'm glad that's settled. You hungry?
I could eat.
There's not much left in the fridge. Do you want me to go grocery shopping?
If you want.
Do you want to come?
No, I'll order in.
Oh, I'm okay with ordering in too. And then we can go grocery shopping tomorrow. What are you in the mood for?
I could do pizza.
Oh.
What?
Nothing.
Fine, then pizza it is.
You always make fun of me when I eat pizza.
I never say anything.
Yes, you do, with your face.
My face?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're the one who eats with a knife and fork, so...
I told you that it keeps the cheese from sliding when you lift it off. When you lift it up.
Whatever makes you happy. So, pizza, and I'll cover my face while I eat it. Settled?
Sure. If that's what you're in the mood for.
Yeah. Half what I like, half what you like?
Sure. Actually, no, I don't think I could eat half of a whole pizza.
You could save it then for later.
Oh, right. Sure then.
An opinion where we order from?
Nope.
Two Boots it is.
Oh, they're not wearing masks though.
Oh, two fellas?
Under the nose.
Valenci's?
Closed.
Shit.
Sorry.
Chinese?
Yeah, sure.
The usual?
Of course.
Done.
Great.
Carol.
What? Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, maybe pick a different habit than sucking your dirty fingernails during COVID, huh?
You're right. I mean, I did just wash them though, but no, you're right. Yeah, of course. How was your day?
Fantastic.
Do anything interesting while I was out?
This?
Cool. Hey, I came up with another character in the shower today. Do you maybe want to hear?
I heard it.
Yeah, because I was thinking that maybe. Yeah. Yeah. And your thesis. How's that going?
It's done. Okay. Carol,
I'm it's done
now. So
no. This is a big deal. It's been like a big part of both our lives, right? For like 3 years now. No. We should celebrate. We can get wine to be delivered, right? Red or white. You know what? I'll just get both. Have you seen my phone? How did you figure out the ending? Shit, where is it? I knew you weren't happy with it. So how did you figure it out?
Handed it in as it was. I mean, I'm sure it will be enough to pass. No one is really expecting greatness this semester, so.
Oh, sorry.
It's just a bunch of papers. Had to get to the end, and I did. And now I have a piece of paper for doing it.
Cool. And you can get a cool frame for it too. and now you'll have some free time. I mean, some more time. Sorry, I'm looking for my phone and aha! Look, and haha. Huh? What?
Nothing.
Well, there's no more room in the closet.
I know.
I mean, it's not that much stuff.
I know.
I mean, I have the same amount that I did 10 years ago. It's just that we're home more, so we see it more.
I know.
Carol looks around disconcerted, grabs her phone. Several messages pass back and forth between with phone notification sounds. Caitlin stops and looks at Carol.
Dude, it's fine. I'm not. Stop. I said it's fine. It's fine.
Why won't you do something with me? Look, we don't have to talk. We can, a game. How about we play a game? Scrabble.
Seriously?
Yahtzee.
What?
Monopoly.
Would last longer than even COVID can.
Shoots and ladders.
I don't think that's an actual game.
Then Operation or the word game.
No. Definitely not. You always lose.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
Prove it.
I have. Over and over and over.
But do you?
Carol, yes.
But no, do you? Or do I let you?
Fine. I play one round and then you will be quiet until the food comes. Deal?
If you win.
When I win.
Okay.
Okay, are we gonna play or not?
Okay. Oh shit, how does it go again?
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, I was kidding. I'll go first. Okay. My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator.
My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator and a bandana.
My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator, a bandana, and a carpool driver.
A carpool driver?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator, a bandana, a carpool driver, and a dachshund.
My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator, a bandana, a carpool driver, a dachshund, and estradiol. Estrogen pills.
Glad your aunt is really prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator, a bandana, a carpool driver, a dachshund, estradiol, and a fritter.
My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator, a bandana, a carpool driver, a dachshund, estradiol, a fritter, and a gastrointestinal disorder.
My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator, a bandana, a carpool driver, a dachshund, estradiol, a fritter, a gastrointestinal disorder, and Hank Williams Jr.
Who?
Hank Williams Jr.?
Mm-mm.
What? He's real. How do you not know that he's, you don't know him?
Okay, I don't watch sports, okay?
Okay, never mind. Stop stalling. Your turn.
Okay, fine. My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator, a bandana, a carpool driver, a dachshund, estradiol, a fritter, a gastrointestinal disorder, Hank Williams Jr., and Idol.
Billy?
Of course.
My aunt went to Alabama and brought back an alligator, a bandana, a carpool driver, a dachshund, estradiol, a fritter, a gastrointestinal disorder, Hank Williams Jr., Idol, Billy, and jaundice jailer.
My aunt went to Alabama, brought back an alligator, a bandana, a carpool driver, a dachshund, estradiol, a fritter, gastrointestinal disorder, Hank Williams, Idol, Billy, a jaundice jailer, and a client-hided kleptomaniac. What? Come on. Come on, what are you doing? Come on, it's your turn. Let's go. Come on.
Junior.
What?
It's Hank Williams Jr.
That's what I said.
Nope. You missed the junior. My aunt only wanted to bring back Junior, not his dad. I mean, he was a good singer too, but she specifically asked for the son. So, just like we thought.
No, I want a rematch. Come on.
Carol, we've been playing for over 10 years. You lose every time. Just let it end.
No.
We're good. Perfect timing to do so. No? And now, quiet until the food comes. Finally.
Okay, I just want to. I just want to say one little. Could I just say one more thing, please? Just one more. I just want to say that I really enjoyed being here while you worked on your thesis. I mean, it was kind of cool, the whole thing. I mean, hearing the interviews that you did and watching the videos of the women. I mean, it kind of felt like I got to know the women really well too. I mean, how can I not? You talked about them endlessly to me for like 3 years.
Oh, is it annoying when someone does that?
You know who I really loved? Carla. I think she was my favorite. And she's one of a kind, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, remember how... Oh, wait, it was her mom, right? Who was scared of flying, but then it was Carla who was, I want to fly. And then she was told, you simply cannot because of that heart of yours. Huh.
It was her thyroid.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Why, thank you. I mean, I couldn't know. So she was denied because of her thyroid. Hey, dude. How about you play her? And then I can be the woman who says, you simply cannot join. You have thyroid issues. And then you as Carla can say,
all of that was just no.
Okay. I can do better. How about, aha.
Carla changes her posture and becomes Carla.
Let's begin this interview, darling. I don't have too much time. I have a date right after this charming man, younger gentleman in his 80s, and he is just...
That's your Carla? She's quite spry for a 91-year-old, huh?
Yes, but she had the soul of a 20-year-old. So viscerally, I feel like this is where her character would lie. Oh, come on. That was totally a jar moment.
Yeah, if you want.
Well, no, but... Shush! Your elder is speaking. Oh, now where to begin? Ah, yes. Where else but the very beginning? Oh,
what are you trying to do?
I'm showing you my favorite part of me, Carla. Howard Horowitz. H-R-O-H-O-R-O-W-I-T-Z. A little tongue-tied there. And, well, here it all is. I was born in Chicago on May 28th, 1922. Cue music.
Carla hits a button on her phone. Music from the 1920s comes on.
Early 1920s. My family all lived in the fancy part of Chicago, the Gold Coast. And yes, it was called that. Lake Michigan was a block and a half away, and as a child, I had a comfortable life. On a summer day, if I could get a friend to join me.
Carla takes a second to figure out her younger Carla posture. When she does, she jumps on the chair pretending she is wearing her bathing suit and mimes she is dipping her feet in or puts feet into an empty plant potter as if it is a pool of water. She then continues as Kid Carla.
Come on! Just put a bathrobe over your bathing suit and we can walk to the lake. It's not far. And then we can put our feet in and just feel the water on our feet. Do you feel it? Huh? Nice, huh? I see you too. Hey, where do you go to school? Oh, me? Mom says it's a pro something. Anyway, but we just started learning the M play.
You know that this isn't a theater, right?
And my teacher's name is Dr. Bryn Jones, and he's so weird. Whenever he teaches a play, he would always...
What?
Well, come on. What would he say? I mean, do you remember?
Of course, but
So?
Okay, look, I know it's been a while since you've acted, and I know you miss it, but this isn't that.
Why?
Well, there's no audience, and there's no purpose. It's just
two people sitting over a campfire. Telling stories. This is where true theater began. Come on. Besides, I remember when you first told me Carla's story, and you were transcribing it, and you got to this exact part, and you said that you could clearly picture Dr. Bryn Jones, and that he would sound like, oh, come on.
This semester, you will learn Shakespeare's Macbeth in depth. Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Acting was, I didn't see a full commitment. Not like, what else about my childhood? Ah, yes, the two biggest parts. My parents, of course. There was George Edward Howard. He served in both world wars. And then later on in life, he sold land. He sold timberland in Mexico. Land for sale. That's what he did. But being in the army, that's who he was. And then there was my mom, Ella. She was never in...
You're not gonna stop, are you?
Maiden name Joseph. She was never in the army, but her passion, she loved... Oh, come on. You loved her story.
Barely remember. It was like 2 months ago.
You made me rewatch it with you last Tuesday.
All right. Whatever. You know, you don't even know what month it is. But yes, she did love the theater.
The theater. And nice young women did not do that in the 1900s. So she made blouses and rag rugs. And then her friends sold them for her, and she made enough money so she could leave Chicago, head to New York. She had to try her hand at the theater. But when she got there, she realized Chicago had better improv. So then, she wrote to her dad to say, Dear Dad, I'm leaving.
No, that's not what happened.
Well, you said you're done with it, so her story, it's mine to do as I wish.
Okay, no, it is not. That's a person's life. It's not a silly acting game.
Why are you getting so angry?
I'm not angry, Carol. I told you I'm fine. It's just not okay to change her story. She did not hate New York. She wanted to stay, but she was...
broke. I know. I knew, and I also knew that you cared. So, she was in New York, and she was broke. And then her dad wrote to say...
Big fireworks are heard, Explosion is heard again. They both groan, annoyed.
Here we go again.
Firework display sound heard. Caitlin goes to the window.
I just don't understand. It's 5 p.m. It's light outside. They can't even see them. It just makes no sense.
Fireworks, more fireworks, more fireworks. A second of silence. They both stare and slowly walk toward the window, wondering if it's over. After a second, another firework sound is heard, and another, and another. They both jump. Caitlin is trying hard to keep her cool.
Fuck. The 4th is like weeks away.
Well, you know what would drown out those noises? My father sent me money for a ticket back home. Now I can stay in New York and pay my rent. Oh.
Caitlin keeps looking out the window, hears another firework. She jumps a bit every time, but is trying not to let it get to her.
It's only June 10th. It's... Okay, no. No. Ella would sound like this.
Caitlin walks toward her chair and sits. Her posture changes and she becomes Ella.
A letter from my dad. Dear Ella, I have attached a non-refundable ticket back home. Okay. Don't get too excited. This is only until they stop, and then you will not bother me again, okay? Deal?
It's not a deal. So, my mother, Ella, met my dad, and they got married. And,
Carla gives her a look. Caitlin sighs and takes a resistance band out of her hair and pretends she is walking down the aisle as Ella. Carol breaks out of character and laughs. Caitlin gives a small smile.
She got married, but she was very sympathetic to my wish to do something on my own since she didn't get to live her dream. And it was just the 3 of us until I left home. I went to Northwestern for a year and then Carleton, but all those places, I always felt like a fish out of water. I felt like that in most places. Well, I was eager, always eager, but never quite a good fit. I always looked like, this. And a perfect example of that was my first job out of college. I was working at the French Mission. Impressed? Don't be. Because as I mentioned, I was always finding myself in places where I just couldn't fit in. Well, in this instance, it was because...
You are Carla, oui?
Oui.
Magnifique. Hey, Carla, I need you to translate this controversial propeller.
Oui, Elise.
I'll be back for it in time in just a little bit.
Oui.
Any questions?
Oui. Como ça?
Comme ci, comme ça.
What?
Duolingo is doing really wonders for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm doing that 5 minutes a day.
Oh, I can tell.
Oh, thanks. But they never asked me if I spoke French, and I didn't. But if I really wanted something, I did not let it get in my way, even if I knew that it would never be a good fit. And this was pre-WASP. WASP. Woman Air Force Service Pilot. Now we get to the good part. I had wanted to be part of the war effort. I had wanted to do my part. And I heard about what the Nazis were doing over there, and I really wanted to machine gun a Nazi. Okay, shit. I cannot believe that Carla said that. I mean, dude, that's like some Tarantino shit right there.
Yes, she did say it like 4 times. I mean, okay, that was impressive to hear. But what she said even more was,
It becomes Carla's dad.
now tell Dad why you also want to go there. Because you like to fly, Chica.
Ah, yes. I was a natural pilot, and we had to have those 35 hours of flying pre-WASP. So on the East Coast to get in. So pre-WASP, I went to train in Dansville, Pennsylvania, and this was about 1943. Where was I? Ah, yes. My dad had a friend at the Pentagon, and he searched out the best flying schools, those private flying schools. My dad was always very supportive, and
One of their phones dings once, and then it does a couple times more. They both look.
I should check if it's. It might be yours.
no, it isn't. I mean, well, my one acting gig on Zoom for exposure only got canceled due to lack of interest.
By the public?
Sure. Besides, I turned mine off. But no, you should go ahead. I mean, go get it. People actually need you, so.
People need you. They.
Phone dings again.
Sorry,
No.
I should check this. It could be a job. Whoa. Shit. It's unemployment. It's telling me that they received my complaint and they will get back to me as soon as possible. Great. I mean, it's all good. Glad they got it, and yeah.
Caitlin takes a moment and looks at her phone, and then sits and starts scrolling on her phone. Carol just sits there staring while this happens.
Did you want to stop here? I mean, we could just stop here.
Fuck, I'm sorry. I didn't even know why I went on Facebook. I just, you know what? There. Whew, so where were we? Fuck.
Wait, what's wrong?
Oh, it's not a big. I have to keep it on for the food delivery.
Oh, sure. Did you want to keep going or
Yeah, it's fine.
Really?
I mean, I guess until the food comes.
Okay. So the flying schools. That's where we were.
Oh, right. You know, I just watched Dazed and Confused, and I always imagined that the men there were So, Carla, is it? I hear you're still a novice pilot. Does being up there still scare you?
No, but it never scared me.
Oh, well, all right. Hop into my plane. Let's see what it's all about.
They both move the furniture around to make a plane. It's quick, as the plane can become more elaborate as the story continues. They both then hop onto the plane.
Hold on, little chickie.
What are you doing?
I'm going to pull up the nose of the airplane until it stops flying, and then the nose will just drop down, and you will spin and spin and spin. And it's like the feeling you get in the roller coaster way down your stomach, no? And it's going to keep on spinning and spinning. Ah, how does that make you feel, huh?
Wow! Hey, this is fun.
Shit. You far?
Nah, I haven't really been interested in flying until recently.
Oh, yeah? What changed?
Gonna go over there and fight me some Nazis.
You?
I am going to fly. I trying to get into the WASP program. I'm going to join the war effort no matter what. And then I was rejected because I was from Chicago. Oh, okay. Not because I was from Chicago, but there isn't an adequate amount of iodine in the water in the Midwest. There is a whole section in the Midwest that is iodine deficient. The thyroid doesn't get adequate stimulus. So I've been taking medicine for it my entire life. Where was I? Ah, yes. I applied by mail. I was rejected by mail. But I just knew that if I could talk to the head of the WASP program, I could get her to change her mind. So then again, my dad...
Caitlin swiftly switches back and forth between several characters over the next several lines.
Carla, pick up my phone. It's my friend, Captain Amos from the Pentagon.
Oh. Hello?
Carla, you know, my office is across the hall from Jackie, and Dad told me you were rejected.
Dad, you told him I was rejected?
Well, it was only to ask, so I could also ask him to spy on her, so.
Oh. Captain Amos, what did you find out?
Well, she's in town, which is right now.
Oh my gosh, Jackie? Jacqueline Cochran is there with you?
Yes, here, she's,
You know, I never understood that bleached hair of hers.
Yes. It is Jackie, who started the WASP, ran my own business, and won all those races.
Captain Amos, what do I do when I get there?
Come speak to her secretary and,
Dad, what do I say when I go down there?
You'll know what to do.
Captain Amos, how long will she be there? What if I miss her?
So come down now. Her secretary is...
Can I go?
Yes.
Captain Amos, and Dad, and Jackie, and...
Wait, White Carol. Seriously, who am I?
I really thought you needed help with those costume changes, so... And who you are, that would take hours to answer. I don't have that time. Okay. So Carla went down to Jackie's office, right? And she talked to the secretary, right? And the secretary then said,
Yes.
I'm here to protest my rejection. I want to see Miss Cochran now.
She's out of town.
No, she isn't.
Do you have an appointment?
No?
You'll have to wait.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Oh, I just got this new book called War and Peace, and I'm on page 1, so I'll wait.
Oh, Miss Cochran, she doesn't have an appointment, and
Miss Cochran, my name is Carla, and I have wanted to be...
Wonderful. Ever since I started the WASP program, I knew it would be special.
Yes, and
How could it not? I told General my girls, they are meant to fly.
Yes, and
especially with me heading the program, I can guarantee my girls will be the best.
Jacqueline, Miss Cochran, yes, you are so right. It is a wonderful program, and I would do anything to be a part of your vision. But you rejected me simply because of a thyroid issue. I mean, I've been taking medicine for it, so.
Yes.
Jackie?
Dear, you simply cannot fly if you're taking thyroid medicine. It will make you unstable.
I don't need it anymore. I've outgrown it. Which is a blatant lie. Look, I'll prove it to you. I'll go to any endocrinologist in Washington. I'll get a basal metabolism test. I'll prove to you that I don't need it anymore.
Okay. You can choose the endocrinologist, and I will abide by his decision. You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. I'll go to the doctor right away.
Young Carla jumps up and Caitlin immediately becomes annoyed nurse and puts her hand out.
The doctor is busy, sweetie. I'll be administrating your thyroid test today.
Grabs a wine bottle.
Here.
Carol, as young Carla takes it, looks at it, and takes a swig.
My dear, that is a tube for you to breathe into.
Oh, right. And, oh, right.
What did you think, Miss Howard? We get results by something like drawing blood?
Oh, no, that test I could cheat. I mean, oh, shit. How did we not think to use these? For the doctor's office, right? I mean, we have disposable, black, white, tie-dye. Hey, did you see how this one matches my outfit? It's nice.
Okay. Wait right here while I get your file.
Okay. Wait for her to walk away, Carla, till you can't hear her steps anymore. And then, okay, if I do this for 20 minutes, then maybe my metabolism will
Well, Carla said that she did burpees.
She did burpees in the 1940s.
Yes.
Sure, as long as the historian says that it's accurate. She did burpees for 20 minutes, which is, hey, look at that. That's about now. So the nurse came back and...
Breathe.
Well, what does it say?
What? Oh, it's normal.
First time in my life I have a normal basal metabolism. I mean, of course. Jackie, look. I got my test results back and...
Okay.
Wait, am I accepted? And I was. 25,000 women applied, and they accepted only 2,000. And we, of course, had to have those 35 hours. The men didn't. And then only 1,000 actually graduated. We had a very high drop-off rate. So I knew that it would not be easy. But then I remember when I went to say goodbye to my parents and my dad. Dad, I know I'm about to say to leave and
I'm so proud of you, Carla.
Thanks, Dad. Oh, and Mom, I know it's hard for you to see me leave, but
you know, I would never want to fly. It's a bit scary, no? But if you have a dream to do something on your own, don't let anyone stop you. Go for it.
Thanks, Mom. Oh, I'm going to barely pack any luggage. I'm going to get on a train and head to
Sweetwater, Texas.
Oh.
They say is one of the places in the world where you can stand in the mud up to your knees and still get sand blown in your face.
This place sure is funny, but wonderful. Oh, I'm so gung-ho, I don't care about anything else.
Name's MJ.
Oh, Carla, it's nice to meet you.
Carla! Well, looky at that. You're my baymates. Well, come on in. Let me introduce you two. My personal favorite. Name is Johnson. Doghouse Johnson. I can't believe I'm here. I almost wasn't because they said I was too little. So before my physical, I went to Kelly's gym. Know the place? Well, I went there and hung by my heels every week, stretched me out just enough so I could reach the pedals. Didn't last. So I might have to put them behind me now. But don't worry. If you fly with me, I'm a good pilot, so it should be fine. Just only one, and maybe slouch when you're next to me.
Well, that is nothing.
Oh, really? And you are?
Name's Lola Jackson, and if you think that's cunning, well, they said that I was too skinny. I mean, and I tried everything. I mean, I even ate endless bananas like every day. I mean, like, ew, right? But still, nothing. So, day of my physical, I took my bandana and I put birdshot into it. It was an instant weight. I wrapped it around my head, and when they asked me why I wouldn't take my bandana off, I said, well, I wouldn't dare lose my head. I passed.
Guess everybody does something, huh?
Well, when it's something you really want to be a part of. Oh, and this is Curly Boy because of her
curly hair, of course. And lastly, Ty. She's a bit tough. She was married, but she isn't now.
You don't have to whisper, Curly. It's not a secret. Yeah, came in married. Leaving not. Husband was killed in Burma. You know, some people don't understand why I'm still training, but
Why? Should it have?
Shit. And well, you all met me. My name's MJ, and that right there, well, that's Carla. I kind of figured that at some point you were going to want to play Carla and show me how it was done. So the floor is yours, Carla.
Well, you all just seem wonderful.
We're going to be good friends.
How do you know?
Well, we're going to be up there with each other, right? And when you fly instruments, you take your life and you put it into your friend's lap. And if that's not trust, well, damn it, I don't know what is. Besides, there's all these places that I want to go to when we're on leave, and I'm going to need a buddy for that. Hey, have you ever been to the Alamo?
No.
Well, next time we're on leave, let's go.
Well, I'm here to fly, and there's a lot to learn, so...
Oh, so next time that we're flying up there, I say we go rogue and we get there a little quicker.
Oh, sure. There's so many places to fly, and actually, I've never been to...
There are blinking lights outside, and the sirens get louder. Carol stops and looks toward the window and walks toward it, nervous. Caitlin then also comes out of character.
Carol?
Can you see who it is?
No. Do you even know who the neighbors are?
No.
Oh. Well, we don't know exactly what it is. I mean, doesn't mean they're here because someone...
They both keep staring, and the sirens continue. Neither look at each other nor acknowledge what the other is feeling. Caitlin has a moment where she's scared, but it's only a quick half second before she looks away, not wanting to acknowledge or have any part of what she's seeing or feeling.
You know the other thing I remember Carla saying about her friends?
Caitlin becomes older Carla.
MJ. She's dead. They're all dead now. Nothing seemed to get her, did it?
I mean, I don't think that's what she...
Oh, that's what she said. And she said it just like that.
Yeah, but she was 91 years old, and she had been through a lifetime of,
Well, 38 wasps died. She was 22 when that happened, and she still said, I wasn't scared. When I asked her about the rumors that sugar was put into a woman's tank, put in just to scare the women pilot, but instead caused the plane to go down, it didn't happen when she was there, but ended up that the rumor was true. And she knew that, but she still said, none of it was going to stop me. I was 22 and I was inviolable and I just wanted to. Carol, do you want to continue or not? This is your idea. I was happy to be on Facebook all day.
No. I'm sorry. I do. Where were we?
Her time in the service. She can you just close the shades?
Carol does so. The blinking lights are seen a bit through it, but eventually disappear. Caitlin goes back into playing Carla, trying to invest even more into what they were doing before.
My time in service. I loved it. It was mostly training, but I loved every minute of it. And what else?
Caitlin goes to her notes switcher next to her computer. She's trying to stay in character.
Even the uniforms we were given, the zoot suits, they were made for men. They were huge on us, but still we made the best out of them. Found a way to wear them, and we wore them with pride. Do you want to see?
What?
The suits.
Oh, sure.
I have it on my computer if you want.
Oh, yeah, no, I do, of course. I mean, an actor thrives in research.
I'm pretty sure that's a jar moment.
Which part?
The entire sentence, I would say. Oh, here. I think that's MJ and Carla fitting into one.
Wow, they really were huge, huh? Hey, what's that on the bottom?
What?
There, it. You know what? I have an idea.
Carol pulls out the projector from her bag of goodies. She gives it to Caitlin.
There, and there, and there you go.
All right.
Aha.
Oh, I forgot to tell you that part. It was a zipper, the little zipper on the bottom.
Oh, that's real convenient for the women.
Right? Hey, do you want to play Carla for a bit? Or,
No, you were doing good with her.
I mean, I'm trying to do the more Midwestern character. Can you tell?
Nope, I can tell. I mean, it's good. It's not as good as my tie, but it's good.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where was I? Okay. But I still made sure to keep the suit until I came in. A gabardine suit. Kept it in my locker until graduation. I just wasn't sure. 50% of us washed out, you know. Anyways, hair short. I guess because it looked cleaner, short, or probably not a good idea to fly with long hair because... Not a good idea. And there was a few fray on our knee, which had our social security on it. This was our ID in the military. Later on, whenever we go to the VA, they'd scream, shouting, "Last four!" That's how they'd know who you were. Just a bunch of numbers. But at Sweetwater, they just yell,
Howard, march! Sound off!
1, 2,
Sound off!
3, 4.
Layden's count!
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The heads are up and the chests are out.
The arms are swinging and cadence count.
I don't mind marching in the formation or waking up early or doing all of it in these suits. I'm just glad to be there, which I guess is why MJ always says that I, like, can I play her again? I really liked MJ.
I mean, yeah, no, you were really good as her. Well, I'll take it from MJ always says that
I love showing us all up. Don't you? Carla, look out!
What? No! Hey! Help me!
MJ throws popcorn at her. Young Carla screams and takes cover, but also grabs some popcorn and throws it back.
Ty! Carly, help me!
I have even more photos. Keep talking.
Okay, that day, we had fun. Oh, but there were so many other days. When we weren't flying solo, we spent most of our time together. In Sweetwater, we all slept in the barracks. It was 6 beds in a bedroom, which is called a bay. And a bathroom also for the 6 of us.
They obviously hadn't lived in New York City apartment.
Yeah, they would never survive, huh? And then when it was really hot outside, we would sleep outside. And stay on this photo. I have an idea. If we make this one part a little bit bigger and we move the projector.
Carol has the projector project the stars on the ceiling of the Texas night sky.
This was our view most nights.
What a bad idea. Why didn't we do this before?
Carol smiles. They both take a moment, and then a pile of books fall over. They both jump.
Oh my gosh!
You think it's Herbert's family coming for revenge?
Stop naming the bugs in our apartment. It encourages them.
Well, we can't have pets, so...
They are not pets. They are bugs, and they do not pay rent. So no.
MJ also said the other bugs, they were huge. They liked to snuggle with you, and they were mice. And
Okay, I know she did not say that. The only thing that was said was by Carla, and it was just simply... One time, I was outside, and an ant, it just crawled into my ear.
So that night, 7 baymates.
Okay, anyway, moving on. What else? Oh, the men. We also got along very well with the men. They liked being there. Having this job kept them from combat. There was the rabbi?
Captain Monteroy. Oh,
What?
he was Danish?
How is this Danish?
You didn't even give me a chance. Heimiar.
No.
He's actually from Minnesota.
Oh, God. Thank God, because all of that was just, no.
Rebecca.
Yeah. Sure. Captain Monteroy, who was the, he was the medical officer. Yes, and he was a charming man from Minnesota, of course. And I remember there was this one time where there was a crash, and he had to go look at the bodies. None of the rest of us did, but there was an awareness on the field, and he was very sensitive towards it all. And how could I not mention the incident and all the times he would call us into the office when...
Oh, you are menstruating. You are, or you not?
Yes?
Oh, perfect.
Pardon? What are those for?
Oh, it's a test of depth perception. Oh, there are worries that when you all menstruate, it affects your depth perception. These little guys will see if you are in danger in the air during those times. So, let's begin, yeah?
It didn't. I mean, it doesn't, but I guess they had to check. There was also talk of keeping us grounded when we had a friend. But they couldn't enforce it. The only difference between us and the men were those 35 hours of training that we needed prior to the WASP. They didn't. And the men made $120 a month and we made $110. But for all of us women who were there, we didn't care. We all just wanted the same thing. We just wanted to fly. Mm-hmm. But there were very many different types of pilots. I remember I was parking my plane one day, and there was another plane there. It was parked slantwise. It wasn't nice in line like all the other ladies, and it was of a woman who was generally sloppy. And I remember my friend looked at me and said, "You fly like you live." That woman washed out. You know, whenever you read that part to me, I always thought it was kind of mean, no?
Maybe, but it was the truth. That's what I want from an interview.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard enough for women. And it kind of feels like it was really hard there, too. She could have been a little bit nicer.
Yeah, but Carla's always been a bit blunt.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess not much has changed. I mean, all you have to go is to the comments section of Instagram to see that, right? Mm. Oh, what is that quote that I read the other day?
History is bound to repeat itself?
No. Oh, yes. No. History doesn't repeat itself as most people fear. It's people that repeat history. I mean, right? Hey, should we post on Instagram that we're doing this?
Post what?
You know, this. Oh. That we're doing this and post it on Instagram so people know.
People care, though?
Well, I don't know, but maybe then people at least know we're doing it. So shouldn't we just?
Yeah, I don't think that we should.
No. Look, because then this people will know that I'm still acting and I'm being creative, and they'll also know that you're still involved with your research.
No.
Oh, come on, why not? Look, I can get my phone quickly, and then people know that we're hanging in there and still hanging out, you and me, and being proactive and. That we're doing okay.
I'm doing fine.
I know that, but then this way other people can see that too.
Why?
Because, look, you have all those photos of Carla. You even have MJ. We can put them up and then we can pose next to them.
Carol, we were just talking about how mean everyone is on Instagram.
So I don't care what people say.
Then why put up anything?
Look, it's just one photo.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal if you don't do it. It's just one photo. There's no actual reason.
Because I don't have anything to post, and I'm not going to have anything to post, and you know what? Forget about it. Where were we?
You can use my phone.
Really? Awesome. Okay. Okay. Just look at the photos and big smile, okay? Because people are gonna love this. And you weren't smiling. We'll have to take it again. Come on, just big smile. What? Look, I know. What if we put hashtag new normal working from home? I mean, that'll really get attention from our last photo together, right? So come on, just big smile.
We see Caitlin looking upset for a moment, feeling her friend's arm around her. The idea of what Carol is saying bothers her, but only for a second. She gets rid of any feelings, shrugs Carol's arm off of her, and then suddenly becomes older Carla.
Where was I? Oh, yes. All the women who washed out.
Wait, I didn't get the photo.
50% of them washed out, left. One of my good friends. Well, remember the day she wasn't supposed to be taking off? I was already in there and she was inches from me, and that's how I could see in her face. She was terrified. She washed out.
That's not Why? I'm not terrified. I was playing Carla.
We were all worried at some point we would wash out. Times all of us thought we might just not make it. But you just kept going because we all really wanted to fly. At least those of us who stayed did. But
It was interesting and wonderful. And the first time that I flew under the cover, I knew that I would be safe because I had my friend with me. MJ, of course. MJ was in the back, and I sat in the front. And
actually, Carla was in the back.
No, Carla was in the front.
I mean, it's my project. I'm pretty sure that...
Yeah, but I was there when you transcribed it, so if I am not mistaken, then...
Put my notes down.
Why? You said that you were done, so what do you need them for? And just like I thought, right here, Carla was in the front.
So MJ sat in the back, but it did not take long, though, until we eventually all started to fly solo anyways. And the training, well, it all went by quick. First plane I flew was...
Oh, you mean my first training plane? Because as you know, I flew planes before Sweetwater.
It was a PT, primary trainer. Biplane, 2 sets of wings. It was the plane that was flown by the aces of World War I. The best planes of World War I were
the training planes of World War II. Next was the Fairchild. The twin engine. Sorry, the twin engine that I asked for was a B-26.
A very powerful short-wing plane.
In the service, it was known as the flying prostitute because it had no means of support. Have you heard that?
You know, I have somewhere buried an article from the New York Times that, to the effect of the women who flew the B-26, had a much better safety record than the guys.
We did. And next after that was the Fairchild. It was a low single plane, single wing. It maneuvered nice.
Third plane had my heart. It was
the AT-6.
Also called the Harvard.
It was an advanced trainer. First week or two, they said, you are going to feel like the plane is flying us.
Not that we were flying the plane.
It was so powerful. It's a little scary.
It was a lot of plane.
But eventually,
I did master the AT-6.
It wasn't until after... Oh, shit.
I don't remember saying, oh, shit.
No, look what I found.
Oh. Wow, I thought you lost that like ages ago.
Yeah, so did I, but, well, no, I didn't really, but I thought when we couldn't find it, it was probably my fault, so,
I was so mad. Whose idea was it anyways?
I had no idea, but it worked. I mean, yes, I am here for the audition, but please be quick. I've had so many gigs already. Me and my expensive scarf need to go spend the royalties.
Yes, I will be your TA. I'm wearing an expensive scarf, so you must take me all seriously.
Yes, I, of course, summer in the Hamptons. Why don't you buy me an expensive dinner and we could talk about summer houses? Oh, and I will be bringing food home for the dog.
If that food wasn't so good, I would have been offended. We had fun. Remember the time we put the sunglasses and tried to see if anyone would believe you were a celebrity?
I won $10 on that every single time.
I still cannot believe that.
What, that people wanted my autograph?
No, your bad French accent. Oh, God.
No.
Bad.
No,
no, you know it is.
It's not. Hey, why don't you hold on to it? I'm not going to need it for a while. I mean, back home, if I wear something like that, people will look at me funny. So you can use it to practice your Carla.
I don't think it would be her style. Where were we?
The AT-6. And she mastered it later, right? It was her boyfriend who was giving her a ride home after the program ended, and it was a good idea. Hey, you want to fly the AT-6?
Oh, yeah, right.
So, how do you like the 6, huh?
Do you like to try?
Yeah.
Do you know how you don't have to think about where you go in a car? It's an extension of your body. The 6 is an extension of my body today. It was like I was born today, and today I'm finally me.
Yeah. It's interesting, right? Just being so flying high in the sky.
No, that's not it. It's mastering these big, powerful machines. I love that she said that.
Mm-hmm.
Carol clears her throat and then shouts as a general.
Class of 44, all rise.
Even without mastering that one plane, I graduated. All my baymates did. And the day we left our official uniforms, the day we left, we got our official uniforms. NJ and I.
Did you want to play her? I mean, I know you really liked playing her. I mean, you can also continue doing Carla. I mean, you're doing great as her. And then you're doing great as MJ.
No, I don't care. Just pick one.
You continue. I'll be MJ. Well, look at our flight suit. We have pants, an Eisenhower jacket, blue shirt, this black tie.
And when we need to be fancier, a skirt,
Ooh.
jacket, a white shirt, and black tie.
And look at all these cute little decorations. Mm-hmm.
And our medal.
What?
The one we got for serving in World War II.
Oh, right. But see, this one, it has these cute little propellers, so. Oh, and don't forget that hat.
Ugh, it is just icky.
Oh, icky, huh?
Yes, icky. But nothing beats our wings.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie gave those to us on our graduation day. My parents came and saw. My dad was so proud. My mom.
Oh, Carla, isn't flying just like driving a bus?
She had a wicked sense of humor. And I got my assignment.
Carla Howard to Blackland Air Force Base as a test engineering pilot. Carla, congrats, sweetie, but, Carla?
Yes, Mom?
What does that mean?
Oh, that means if they repair the plane, I can take it up to make sure it's safe.
Oh.
I can't wait. But when I got there, I didn't ever feel that I was quite doing anything very useful. I remember just sitting around thinking, maybe there are too many of us. There are 4 of us here, and they all just seem to be hanging around. And actually, you're the actress. So why don't you bring the story home, huh?
No. You're doing a great job with her. I mean, she would be really proud. Much better than me. Haha. Howard?
Fine. We're almost done anyway. Okay. Yes?
Got an assignment for ya.
Which moment is... Oh, right. Yes, whatever you need.
Army chaplain needs to be ferried to Randolph Field.
Oh.
Problem?
It's just not what I hoped for.
At this point, Howard, we're just making jobs for you ladies. Here.
I signed up to do something essential and important, to be part of the war effort, not...
Oh my gosh, I love this next part. I mean, not love, like not what happened, but like how she said it. It was so sad, but oh, it was so her, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, yes you do. Yes you do. It was the moment that she truly felt how unappreciated she was. I mean, she was at Blackland and she was holding on to this disappointing flying assignment. And and she was in her flight suit and she was standing next to a plane in her zoot suit, and this soldier walks by and says, "Why, hello, nurse." And then she said, "Oh, okay, I want to get this right. I want to, aha." That was the moment that I truly felt it. That day. It wasn't that nurses aren't wonderful, they are, but I wanted to be known for what I was. No one knew anything about the wasp, and I had just wanted... Oh my gosh, you know what? I bet that this could be a really good one-person show, don't you think? And you have all those slides, right? I could put them in the background as I'm doing the piece.
Carol, I don't think...
No. Oh, okay. Can I show you? Let me just give me Oh, where's that part that you had said? It was here it is. There was also the rumors that there was sugar put into a woman's tank, put in just to scare her. It didn't happen where I was at, but turns out those rumors were true. But
Carol with the lines Caitlin says below as if she is finishing the sentence. Caitlin quotes Carla saying it as if it is to the audience. She says this trying to convince herself and also trying to hold on to the thought she and Carla were strong and didn't let anything get to them. As this part continues, Caitlin finds herself having wandered away from Carol.
None of it was going to stop me. I was 22 and inviolable, and I just wanted
to fly. But then on December 20th, 1944, they announced, "You can go home now, girls. We have enough male pilots." They didn't need us anymore. We weren't necessary. I was disappointed, very. I was sad, but I
had to move on and just say,
now what? I had worked hard to get into the program and to graduate, and so many didn't make it through, but
it just wasn't an option back then. We
were never going to fly combat. So we paid for our own trip home. And then we left. Oh, that is so good and so sad, right? I mean, this could really be something, right? I mean, oh my gosh. I think this would be the perfect ending. Here, listen. Those 38 who died, we paid for their bodies to be sent home to their families for burial. We all took care of each other. The military, the government, they didn't care about us alive or dead. But
what could we do?
There was talk of militarization after the program ended. But there was politics between Nancy Love and Jackie and our government. And Cochrane wouldn't work under somebody else. So when they disbanded the program, we left not as veterans, but as civilians. But I just said, okay. Just said, okay. And I never flew again after that. Well, I know I took my husband out once, but besides that, no. No, we flew big airplanes. And if I was to fly as a civilian, it would be a Piper Cup. Like riding a kiddie car. It would be nothing like my life as a wasp. Looking back, I love my pals. I love my life. Everything.
It's over.
Carol keeps moving her lips during this part below, continuing in Carla's story. As she talks, she takes what they have created apart, so it eventually looks like the same as how the play began.
Fuck. Life before it sure as hell wasn't perfect. It wasn't even close to good, but it was mine. I worked for it, and I struggled for it, and I never got to say goodbye to it. And I don't want to live like this, but what? Gonna spend this time creating a new killer play, which will be produced, right? Because people will always be begging for the art, paying for art. Theater will always bounce back because why? It just has to. Yeah. All the museums I interned for years, for free, just to get a chance. And now there's no jobs, no anything. And all the loans I took out for a piece of paper and a title that just says, and now I'm obsolete. I know I'm not mad at her. If she just stuck it out, maybe we could buy a place. Things have to get cheaper. I mean, I could pick up some tutoring jobs and I would save money. And then, you know what? No. I don't need her. I don't need anyone. Because once I can, I'm going to travel. I'm going to travel whenever this is done to everywhere, to Europe, South America, and interview everyone and bring back stories like this from places all over and interview everyone. And maybe I'll go back to school and get my PhD, or I'll teach others and show them how to care, how to make a difference. I know what I'm doing. I do have plans, a fuck ton of them, and I'm going to do it all. It will happen, and we don't have to prove shit to anyone or anyone now or ever. Or
What? Oh. Was it too much? Did any of it have potential?
Yeah, yes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know if that'll be the end, because there's more to her story, right? But I guess there's no point in figuring out the end when you're just getting started, right? But I mean, this could really be something, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you sure you don't mind it if I take your notes with me and the slides? I mean, if you're not going to use it anymore.
Sure.
You're sure?
Yes, of course.
Caitlin perhaps goes to say something, but instead her phone dings.
Oh, food is here.
Oh, I can get it.
Okay.
And maybe after we eat dinner, we can do and create and escape the room right here. Huh? What do you think? We'll see.
Carol leaves and Caitlin looks up to acknowledge the inane thing Carol just said. And for half a breath, Caitlin takes in the space and how it's going to change. For a second, until she just goes right back to her phone. End. Okay. Welcome, everyone. That is the end of the play Carla. I first want to say thank you to frigid New York for hosting us. Emily Godfrey has been our wonderful tech person. In case anything goes haywire, she's been in the background waiting for us. Emily, if you have any banners you'd like to put up now to plug Frigid, we'd be happy to share that information. And below me right now, you'll see a ticker going across the screen. And then below me as well is Ashley Edelman, who played Carol and is also the writer of this amazing show. And to my left is Janessa, who played Caitlin last minute. We only had a few rehearsals with her. Another woman, Catherine Sheckley, wonderful actress, had a family emergency and unfortunately had to step away for a bit. So Janessa graciously stepped in, another wonderful actress who's worked with IVP in the past. I'm Sam Robbins, and this is my first directing gig with IVP, first directing gig ever, and it's my first time with theater. I'm very excited to have been working on this, and this has been kind of a wild ride these past few weeks, and past number of months that Ashley and I have been working on this. So for those viewers who are still watching, if you need to leave, go to our website, go check out our social media, Infinite Variety Productions. We have a bunch of projects coming up. In December for Hanukkah, we're doing a video recorded version of another show called Displaced in celebration of Hanukkah. It is a story that looks deeper into the family that escaped Austria to the Philippines and eventually to Long Island and their trip trying to escape Nazi Germany. And then I am choreographing and performing a solo work called I Have a Problem with Nostalgia. It's something that IVP has taken under its wing. It's the first dance work that they've created. And I'm very excited to be stepping in and sharing my personal autobiographical history, my gender identity journey, and most especially looking back at the women that have helped shape my life. IVP is a company that...
Quickly, sorry, just say we also have for Veterans Day, November 9th, 10th, and 11th, we're doing an audio play of our piece In Their Footsteps, which is based on 5 oral histories of the American women who served in Vietnam. So check out that website. It has the info about the audio play and talkbacks, as well as more info for Sam's piece and Displace. And now back to you, Sam.
Thank you. And I just wanted to share the IVP mission statement. We're here to share the stories of women throughout history. We strive to always create space so that the voices of the marginalized, oppressed, and unheard can be expressed so that productive conversation can provoke meaningful change. And we ask that if there's anyone here who is interested, we love donations. We're looking to continue producing work even during this time, during COVID. Obviously, we're here right now. So you can find more information at our website at infinitevarietynyc.org. And thank you, Amnesia Wars, for your standing ovation and for the great show compliment. For people who are still watching, we're going to have a little talk back. Please feel free to comment in the comment box below or to the right or left or whichever direction it is on your screen. And we can see your questions, and you can ask us questions as performers, as the director, as the playwright, as the company. And until we get started, I'll facilitate some discussion and dialogue. Thank you, Maria, for clapping. I see you there. Thank you for coming to see. And especially thank you to the viewers. We could not do this without you here. So I want to start with Ashley. How did you come about this story? What inspired you to write this story, Carla? Where's this from?
So, as you can tell, it's based in obviously Carla's story as well as a little bit from COVID. So when COVID started, and I think for a lot of us artists, oh, thank you, Sybil. A lot of us artists, at least for me, I thought I should be creating something during this time. And everything I tried to create was not very great because I was forcing myself to do it. And I had not transcribed Carla's interviews. And when I was transcribing them, I really missed her voice. And as I was transcribing, I just kept hearing her talk about no matter what happened, she kept going. And there was something about that I loved. And so I thought about what theater used to be when I was younger. And it was just fun. And I was in my room and I could have some cushions there and they could be pebbles on my adventure as Indiana Jones as I tried to save things. And it could be a slide as I was going down a tundra. And I started to go, I don't want to think about all the stuff that's happening outside. I want to turn my phone off. I want to go back to being a child that can get lost in those memories and those thoughts. And especially I want to hear Carla's voice telling me that it'll be okay. And then as we did it, though, I realized, though, we can all say okay, but eventually we do have to go back to the world. So she said okay, just okay, but she never got to fly again. And so there's a lot to that, and that's where this came from, and we then went from there.
Great. And Sybil is asking if we have any photos of Carla. Actually, if everyone, Janessa, actually, you could turn your cameras off for just a moment. So this is Carla. And Ashley graciously shared with me the interview video footage that she has of Carla from the very first interviews back in 2018. And she looks exactly the same. She hasn't aged at all. I don't think. Maybe her hair's a little different, but yeah, this is Carla, and this is Carla sitting in the cockpit of one of the planes that she was able to fly. And all the photos that you saw in the middle of the show during the projector scene, Carla was in that as well. So, and some of the other women who were featured.
And that was actually from Carla's scrapbook. When I went to interview her, she showed me her scrapbook. So that's what those photos were. It was her scrapbook of her and her friends.
We have lots more of that to come. Janessa, you came in on this thank you again. This was wonderful having you. The first time I met you was when you were playing a very, shall we say, aggressive nurse, very similar to, I would compare to Nurse Ratched, Miss Group from Nelly earlier this year, another IVP production in collaboration with, what was the name of the company? Children's Theater? And it was an immersive work, and you played this wonderful nurse. So how is this coming into this? I mean, it's a very different format than even an immersive work. And it's something that, this is a different format. We're in a new space. And also you had a brand new script. We tried to add some production elements to it. And in addition to you learning the script and the production, what was this like for you?
It was definitely, it was a lot of fun and also very challenging in the sense that like, it is like so many different characters, but it was exciting in the sense because it really does like, it really brought back that sense of like childhood play that like Ashley was talking about, of like, because I came in so like last minute, I didn't really have an opportunity. Like I just kind of had to go with my gut instinct and just kind of like not be judgmental and just kind of throw myself into like every little character and have fun with it, which I really appreciated. So it was like, it was crazy and a little bit unnerving, which is the same thing as it was for like Nelly, because I know immersive was something I was completely I had never done in the past. So same kind of like nerves, but different in the sense of like the amount of characters that you have to play in the short amount of time, but both very rewarding. Yeah.
And then in terms of meeting Caitlin, who is the character that you played, what was your first impression of Caitlin?
Well, that I deeply connected to her. I think a lot of artists probably do, in the sense that like having both Carol and Caitlin, but like having something stripped from you and not knowing where to go from here and feeling really lost, and kind of having these like two reactions of, Carol's the reaction of like, we're going to be positive, we're going to do things, but also Caitlin is kind of, sitting in to that kind of sadness. And I feel that sometimes. So I relate to that of like, not knowing what to do next, and kind of going back to your phone and using technology and trying to using technology as a means to like escape is really relatable, especially right now. So that was my first impression of Caitlin, is someone who's really passionate, but doesn't know how to continue, where to go from here. I think that's how we all feel right now. So yeah.
Actually, on that, like in this notion of it being very relatable, how true to life are these characters?
I talked to a lot of people. I mean, I think in general, as a playwright, you put yourself into a lot of the characters. I mean, a lot of the things that I've written up until this point have been mostly strict documentary theater, in the sense that I take oral histories and as their stories. This is one of the first times I'm putting myself into it. And I think that especially the last monologue was a lot of me and the thoughts that I had during all this. And there's like little moments too. I mean, I think a lot of us had a lot of similar experiences and have continued throughout COVID, and some have had different, but the moments of the ambulances that were right outside that you just couldn't stop watching, and that was me. They kept stopping right outside my house, and I didn't know why, and I just kept watching it, and and so I think for that sense, there was a good amount of me in it, but I lived by myself, so I didn't have that I didn't have a Caitlin to play with or a Carol to play with. So that was just my imagination of how wonderful it would be to have someone to play like that.
Awesome. And then between the two of you and in this rehearsal process and in performing over Zoom, what were some of the successes you felt you had, and what were some of the challenges?
I mean, I think that I'll say the biggest challenge, I think, as the playwright, was that we rehearsed it via Zoom. And so it was hard, because so much of this for me was like the idea of taking a desk and making it into a plane and allowing to be there with each other and having that be there. It was definitely very challenging to create it via Zoom. But I think one of the most rewarding things was the time that we also could have, because we are at home. And so we were able to do stuff like that and to have moments like this where normally we'd be running to the theater, we'd all be trying to figure out how to get to each other's shows. So I think the hard part was creating this in other spaces and wanting to be together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Janessa, you're in Hawaii right now.
Yes. I mean, it's incredible in the sense that like we can create this despite the fact that I am so far away. And that's really blows my mind that I can just chill here and like throw myself and play all these, like throw all these props on and like work on this wonderful script. But yeah, it is challenging in the sense of like technology and, eye line and wanting to, be present with Ashley. But I'm also like, I'm looking at the camera, but I'm trying to respond to Ashley on the screen. And so I think that's a huge thing that, acting school doesn't prepare you for something like that. I guess in terms of pretending maybe, but like it's hard, to get a response from you, but not be able to look at you and then give it out to the camera. It's very different. But it's still rewarding in the sense that you get to play and you get to I get to work with these wonderful artists. So.
And Sam, what about you directing? What was the challenges and rewards?
It's funny because this is the first time I've directed theater ever. And, Ashley and I started our relationship a year ago this month. And I was choreographing for one of the other works for Displaced and doing shadow puppetry as well. And so, I was kind of dipping my toes into theater, but as a first time director, I think my biggest challenge was the anticipation of what it was going to be like. Like I had no rubric, I had nothing to measure this against, and I had to step in and do something I'd never done before. And I think for me, just knowing who I am and how I normally am, it's always the moments before you start doing something new that are the most terrifying for me. But then when I was doing it, it was just, I just need to listen and then tell them what I'm hearing. I just needed to explain to you what I was hearing, and then I had the authority bestowed upon me, very weird thing to have, by the way, to decide that it should go this way or this way. And it's always, I was always trying to figure out, okay, is this how two roommates who have known each other for 10 years, because that's how long these two characters have known each other, is this how they would have spoken to each other? What's the rhythm like? Finding the rhythm of the show is really important in this. And that's something that, technologically speaking, was really difficult because there is a delay. Like, even as I'm speaking now, you two are hearing me a second later. And when you asked me that question, I knew that there was going to be a bit of a delay. So trying to find a rhythm where you two are catching each other, it's really hard. And to know that if you two were in a studio or in a set that we had built, and you're going through quick costume changes, you could help each other, or you could be in a space and that can take up time and breath for you to figure out what you're doing. But you're not in the same space, and you're in two different spaces. You don't have the same stuff, and we have to figure out how to hand things back and forth. So there's a lot of problem solving, but honestly, that was the rewarding thing, is like this. It was a game. It was a game. It was really fun to just figure this out and play. And when I was in it, nothing else mattered. I'm in this right now. And of course, then when I'm done, and that's the weight of it hits me, I'm like, oh, we just did a rehearsal. But that was a lot. Okay, that's how that's supposed to feel.
It's kind of funny, I always thought, because that's the entire idea of a play, right? Which is that when you're in the middle of doing it, you forget the things that are happening outside. Like, for when you go into rehearsal, which, actors, directors all know, you turn your phone off, you go into that room, and you for a little bit, that's what's important. You're present. And so that was something that was hard to have during COVID, was to turn off your phones and just be here.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, in the earlier rehearsal processes with Catherine, we were able to, after rigorous testing, making sure that we were safe, we were able to meet in person, and we were able to actually figure out that rhythm and play with it. And it was becoming, I love the word gelling. It was gelling. It was ooey gooey. It was working, and we had to step away from it, and we had to step away for this reading. And I think that's kind of the next challenge we're coming up against is what do we do next? What do we do from here? And Ashley, why don't you tell us a little bit about where you see this project going?
So there's two parts for the project I love. I've talked to a few people that actually IVP has not started any films, and I really would love to actually make this into a film. I think that it's a very beautiful, simple, actually, film where it's just two people in an apartment, and I think it's very realistic. And one of the things that I kept talking to Sam and Kate about was this idea of mumblecore, which is that two people who are talking to each other, but they're not talking about what they actually want or should be talking about. And I think that's why I was very intrigued to make this into a film, because what is lovely about Zoom is you get to see my eyes when I'm talking about it. And I think that that's why the rhythm will be great on film, because Caitlin can be talking about how Carla didn't let anything get to her, but underneath it, you can see in her eyes that she's still affected by what was happening. And so what we're going to try to do is that we very much are hoping we're going to do a Giving Tuesday campaign December 1st. We're hoping to raise funds to make this into a film. It is two people and the team. And so it is doable. And then the second thing is we want to put this into an actual space when we can. So the entirety, it's a very easy set. I mean, basically, it's just anything you have lying around. So other people could do it as well. If at some point we're hoping others would want to do it, because it is basically just whatever you have lying around and your sense of play. So I think those are the two ideas. And to put out there, if anyone is interested in joining in on that team, please email us, because we're excited about this project and we just want to see it go places. So, and with that, also let us know your thoughts on the script. What hit you? What were you confused about? All of that, feel free to share and let us know if you want to join our journey.
Thank you all. One last question from John Cartier. Hello, John. Father John. John wants to know if we have considered COVID, if we consider COVID to be a character in the play. I think as the director, I don't see COVID as a character so much as like a looming cloud. Like we talk about it in so many words, and I think it's really only mentioned directly once. But the drama of it, the energy, it's always there, because that's, I mean, this is what theater is. It's one big beautiful lie, and we're trying to tell it in such a way that you can't believe anything else but the truth about it. And in this way, we're trying to distract from COVID. We're trying to tell the story, and we're using Carla's story as the vehicle for Carol and Caitlin to solve their problems. But as we can see at the end, it doesn't. And to let everyone in on the secret, Carol, the previous night they had an argument. Ashley, is this okay to share?
Yes, yeah.
Wanted to ask the playwright if that was okay, but Carol has elected to leave. She's going to leave New York and go back home and try to find work and figure out how to do what she does in her own way and in her own space. And the thing about Carol is she's a little flighty, she's a little airhead, she's very sweet. When she makes a decision or when she has a thought in her head, she pushes forward with it. Caitlin kind of is more accepting of the structure as it is and doesn't want to change it, doesn't want to throw it out of whack. And they're best friends. They've been friends for so long now. And Carol's really become Caitlin's rock. And now Carol's leaving. And that's the big drama of this play. We don't ever really want to talk about it directly because, I mean, we're trying to distract ourselves from the current problems. And Carla's story is that distraction, but like any good story, it always reflects back on the life we're actually living. Any good story should feel like it's your story too.
I would add, but you said it wonderfully, Sam. That was, perfectly. And I agree. I mean, you'll see moments of it. It's definitely, it's definitely hard via this platform, but you see all the moments of, we talked a lot about the outside world trying to get in. Whenever the story ends, it's either because there's something from the outside world. There's the fireworks, there's the phone, there's even the food, even the fact that Caitlin can't turn her phone off because she has to know when the food is coming. And I think that's actually a lot of what the world is that we live in right now, is that there's all these things. We may be in our apartments, there's all this stuff that we're trying to get away with or get away from. And those are the things that just keep on coming in and stopping these two from pretending like they're just fine, which is what they say in the beginning of the play. I'm fine, just fine. Anyone asks us during COVID, how are you doing? You say fine. You don't, too many other things to say. So I think that's the main idea around all of it. And this, just to put in there, enough people know this. Sorry, Sam. This is actually, this is our workshop reading. It's our first time doing this piece that we've created. So again, it's been really, really lovely to have a chance to do it for everybody.
Yeah, and just to catch people up, Ashley and I are in New York, Jersey City metropolitan area. So we're in, one of the hottest spots for where COVID has been landing. And when it first hit, it was strongest here. And Janessa, you're in Hawaii, and things have started to open back up. What's it like what's it been like out there for you?
It's been a lot more. I mean, it did re-shut down about a month ago, and that was really hard because people couldn't, go to the beach, and people are very outdoorsy here. But it's opened back up. It's on phase 2 now, so a lot of things are reopening, and cases I think they're down, but people are nervous because tourists are coming back in. So that's a fear. So it's a bit bizarre. Like, a lot of the locals are worried that, that things are going to spike up and it's going to, but they also, Hawaii relies so heavily on tourism. So it's really tricky.
It's interesting. I think about this show, and what I would hope for it is that conversations like this happen, not to dwell on what people went through, but when we are back in the theater doing it together and there's a moment about this or that, the person next to you has a reaction, and we're all having our reactions in different rooms. And so for me, this is a way for people to have reactions together and to ask, like, how was it for you during this time? What did happen? And so that is actually the hope that I have for this project, is that it's a chance for everyone who was going through it in different ways can finally experience it together.
It's true. Experiencing COVID in New York it's so different than experiencing COVID here. You don't have space to go out in New York, unfortunately, especially in the winter, so it's a little bit easier on, I think, the soul to like be able to go outside and go to the water or like breathe some fresh air, but it's very different. The experience is like completely night and day. And I'm sure everybody else is experiencing it. So everybody experiencing COVID, it's so varied.
Yeah, and I will say this too. I mean, this piece is looking at present times, but it's also making a mark on history because we're capturing what's happening right now. I mean, there's a direct comment that was June 10th. It wasn't the 4th, but the 4th was weeks away, and there were the wild fireworks. And living on my street, my roommate and I would watch as fireworks were shot at people's front porches. Our neighbors' cars were broken into or defaced in some way. One had a firework explode on the hood and melt part of the hood. Like, we saw this happening. And so that's one part of history that we've captured. But the other thing that we've done is we've uncovered a story that not many people know about, the story of the WASP program. And these women were trained. They were expected to have specific training beyond what the men were. Carla said it, 35 hours of training time that the men as pilots weren't required to do. And the men were the ones going off to war. They were the ones actually doing the fighting. And these women were technically, on paper, more qualified. And they had to, battle against different odds within their field. And it's something that we don't talk about in the play directly because it's a little difficult to contextualize. And I think that's something moving forward we can look at. All the women in the WASP program are white. And that's something really important to discuss too, especially with the summer, the Black Lives Matter movement and how important that is. And Infinite Variety Productions is looking to expand on that and to commit to inclusion, diversity, and equity within the arts, which is another difficult conversation. But in relation to Carla's story, she was fairly blunt in her interviews, like, there were no Black women. There were none. And Jackie Cochran wouldn't have been able to get the program off the ground, pun intended, if there had been any Black or brown or Asian women involved in the program, which is, it's kind of par for the course, isn't it? We talk about women getting the right to vote in the early part of the 20th century, but it was white women. And so we see another opportunity here for women to move forward, and it has its own problems and setbacks as well. And with that, we want to take a complicated and open look at these harder problems, and we can't do that unless we start with the stories that did happen. And so this story, it has further reaching effects than just what we initially think. And the story of Carla, it's one woman out of this entire program, and we have her direct source information, and we have her firsthand account. What a special and amazing thing to do. And it's something that we value. Ashley, you've been working in documentary theater for as long as you have. It's part of your thesis work that you've been working on at Sarah Lawrence College. Can you talk a little bit about documentary theater and how this process began for you?
In general, so actually I think there's going to be a resurgence, a big one, of documentary theater. They talk about how it comes out during a time of political unrest. And so there's a wonderful piece, if you guys, I think Bree is actually watching, Playful Substance right now, that just released a play that is from the Federal Theater Project. So please check her out and her company out as well, Bree O'Connor, because they're doing a piece from the Federal Theater Project. There we go. There's Bree. And the Federal Theater Project actually was, documentary theater, there's a lot of talk of when it really got started. It started with like Brecht, and then got brought over here. But the first time we really could say that we saw it here was with the Federal Theater Project, which was after the Great Depression. And it was a time where they were taking newspaper articles and they were making it into theater. And one of the things that they said is that people were wanting to go to the theater because they didn't know what was happening in the news and what was the truth and what was not. And so they would go to the theater to find out the news because they wanted to hear from people. Now, people don't always say the truth. That's not what documentary theater is doing. It's not telling you this is the truth. This is one person's truth, or at least story that they're saying. And then it is up to you to go home and look up more and find out more. It is, to me, I've always thought documentary theater is investigative theater. You're investigating something, and kind of along what Sam had said. So now you learned one part of the WASP program. Go home and research more of it. There's so much more you can learn about Jackie Cochran, who was a very controversial woman and continued to be controversial her entire life. There were women who, when they were denied from the WASP program due to race or whatever it was, started their own flying schools. And so that is, to me, one of the main reasons for documentary theater, is to learn something that you didn't know about and to then question it yourself. You should always be questioning, because documentary theater is not going to give you answers, because I don't think there's a person who has answers. You're hearing their story. And so that's where it all got started. And so that is the entire idea of what I love about, and still do, about documentary theater, is how else are you going to hear these stories? And you know what you're getting. You know, and we're always very honest. Like, obviously, I took Carla's story. You know that I wrote it. It's not just Carla's story. This is also obviously always a part of my story. And when for Janessa, she told part of it. So it's also part of her story. And so from here, thinking about how it relates to you and what else you want to know. So that has always been documentary theater. And I think there's something so special. And I'll say I'm so lucky that that is the type of theater I get to do, because I get to meet people I would never get to meet. And so even for Carla, I want everyone to know that in the beginning, when she said she had a date right after it, she did. We did this interview in 2 different times. She had a date that she had to stop the interview, so I came back. She loved teaching, and so she still had 1 student. She was still teaching because she just loved teaching, and she lived her life to the fullest. There were moments, though, even in her own oral history, where she was saying something and her eyes would go against it, because she loved to fly, and she told me she was okay that she didn't fly again. But then a second later, she would say, I love to fly, and her eyes would light up. And so to me, that is documentary theater. And I think that anyone around you, interview them, find their stories, find out what they want to say. And I'm hoping that we start to do more of it, because we're researching and seeing everything on the news. I want to hear it from the people and from everyone, even those that you're like, that's not a story I want to hear. That's history. And it's true what I said, history doesn't repeat itself. We really love to blame history for everything. It's not history that's doing it, it's people. So let's learn about the people and then learn about ourselves, so it doesn't hopefully continue to repeat itself.
Thank you for saying that, Ashley. And at that, I mean, we've been, oh wow, we've gone a long time here. It's been such a thrilling evening. I think Ashley and I have been a ball of nerves all day, and we've had all sorts of stuff going on. Oh, we have one more question. What was What was Carla teaching?
Oh, she was teaching English. She was teaching
Yeah, you
English.
mentioned that her husband had gotten ill towards the end of his life.
So what ended up happening with Carla, and also her story of how she met her husband, if anyone's interested and would like to read it, let me know. Just email, go to the website and ask me, because the story of how she met her husband is actually quite beautiful. It's true, her story doesn't end there. But her husband actually got sick. And the first time he was sick, he said to her, like, and this is how she told it, Carla, because she was a stay-at-home mom, she took care of the kids, said, Carla, you got to go get yourself a job. So she went back to school, she went back to grad school, and then she became a teacher for English. And she loved it. And then he did pass away. They had a wonderful, wonderful relationship. They adopted kids. And she unfortunately did pass away 2 years ago. But she lived on the Upper West Side up until that moment. And like I said, still teaching. She had that 1 student, and she just loved it.
And she was 91.
She was 91 when I interviewed her, which was in 2016.
It was in 2016, okay. Well, with that, I will say this has been quite an event. We have moved, I feel like all 3 of us and others, including Catherine and Emily Godfrey with Frigid and Erez, and all of our wonderful team and all the friends who have helped us along the way. We have done so much work. You'll see at the bottom a donation link for Frigid New York. They're the ones who hosted us for this. Thank you, Frigid, for 1, hosting us, but 2, showing us StreamYard, this wonderful technology that has allowed us to present in this way and make it so accessible to people. None of you viewers right now had to download anything in order to watch this. So we're very grateful that this was able to exist on this platform. And thank you to Ashley, founder of IVP, for giving all 3 of us this opportunity to perform and for me to direct.
Thank you.
This has been an amazing opportunity, and I think we got to wrap it up. Janessa, Ashley, do you have any closing comments?
I just want to say thank you to both of you, as well as Kate, who could not be here tonight, who has done so much work on this piece. So thank you, Kate, when you do have a chance to watch it. Janessa, for being my acting buddy and being wonderful. And Sam, for not only being the director, but continuing to look at the script and give me wonderful notes and making the script what it is today. And thank you to the audience that is watching, because I know we said it's just two people sitting over a fire telling stories, but we want to tell those stories for people. So thank you for joining us. We hope that you'll join us for some of the other IVP works, as well as just continue to share what we do. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Anything?
Yes, thank you so much, Sam and Ashley, for inviting me to be part of this wonderful play, and thank you so much for everybody who decided to join in, watch us play. Such a great opportunity to, be able to play and act again after months and months of, being in this pandemic. So it's been a great pleasure.
And you can find us all at our social media. IVP has an Instagram and Facebook page and YouTube page and our website as well. And then we each have our own personal social medias. If you two want to plug yours, go ahead. IVP_NYC.
I unfortunately don't do anything for myself. IVP is my own.
Of course.
Oh, how do I it's fine. I don't know how to I don't know technology.
Don't worry. Well, just look for Janessa Floyd. She's an absolutely lovely actress, and you can find her on our website as well. And oh, we can send it to her in chat. So Janessa, go ahead and Janessa, Ashley, let's type it all in and send Emily our information.
I don't have any.
My Instagram.
And then Emily can share all of that. I'm sam.j.robbins, and I'm also paper_dances. Those are my two social medias. I run my own very small company. It's a dance company. It's called Paper Dances. I do project-based work inspired by origami and paper. I also do shadow puppetry for IVP using paper and choreograph as well, which has been a wonderful crossover. So follow us at social media. If you have any other questions, do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you again, Frigid and Emily and everyone and everything, and have an absolutely stellar evening. Be safe, be healthy.